I found this thread that goes, what's a casting choice that was pretty controversial or just for you that ended up being great? And I just decided to yap about it a little bit. Some famous ones comes to mind like Heath Ledger getting cast as Joker. Internet fanboys hated it because he was mostly known for his heartthrob roles or for Brokeback Mountain and they couldn't see him playing a psychopath. Obviously, they were wrong and damn right they were. What Heath Ledger did with this character is just on our level. It's so different from any other interpretation of the Joker. And of course, it's very much thanks to the script, but also his interpretation and movements and everything he did in this one, it's so unique and that's why I still talked about till today. It's been like pretty much almost 20 years. Most people at the time expected this Joker to be pretty much Jack Nicholson part 2 for some reason, but this movie itself, it's absolutely amazing. Like every second of it, every scene, the story, it's so rich and it at times it doesn't even feel like a Batman movie. Like most of the time it doesn't feel like a Batman movie. Everyone can watch this film and appreciate it and love it because pretty much all before that was, what do you have, like George Clooney as Batman and Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton, which are kind of more like sticking to the traditional things of making superhero movies. And this one, this is why people love it so much. For internet, Michael Keaton was controversial as Batman. He was mostly comedic at the time. And yep, I heard that was like a huge controversy. And there was no social media back in the day. So it was in the papers. Like they were making fun of Keaton being Batman. And look what happened. Like it turned out to be great and one of the most loved actors who portray that character. Seems like there is always a bill about Batman castings, Keaton, Clooney, Affleck, Pattinson, and of course Ledger as Joker. Can't say I recall a lot of hate about Kilmer though. And yeah, Kilmer pretty much looks the part. And there was not much controversy, I think, about Christian Bale too. I think he was already proved that he is a great actor and someone who can actually step in the shoes of playing Batman. Pattinson, there was a huge controversy at one point that he's going to be the new Batman, and for me that was so stupid because he already proved that he can pretty much portray any character, man. And that version of Pattinson's Batman to me is the best one because not because it's very different from all the other ones, because for me it's the most realistic one. This whole movie is pretty much based on realism too. Of course, there are some moments that are, you can say, that are pretty over the top for a movie that pretty much focuses on realism, but at the same time, man, like he really knew how to portray the movie, and the script was great too. It was very much inspired by movies like Seven and a bunch of other comic books. Now, of course, Ben Affleck is mentioned here too, but to me, like he really looks the part, man. Like from there is just the script, right? And I'm not a huge fan of Batman versus Superman. I didn't like that movie much, but I feel like if he did like his own version, because everyone knows that Ben Affleck is a really good director and he is a great filmmaker too, he could have made like this Batman like very, very interesting. Unfortunately, we might see that now because they have a good relationship with Netflix, and if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, they're gonna get the rights to Batman. So who fucking knows, man? We might have like 5 or 10 different Batmans coming like every year. Another one is going to be Charlize Theron and as Aileen Wuornos in Monster. Now, I've never seen the movie, but I've seen clips and everything I've seen from this movie. Just she looks like she's doing a great fucking job. And I think Charlize Theron is a very underrated actress. She really has quite a lot of range, and because most people will see her like in big blockbuster movies, but like in other films, like she is just so good. Like she really understands characters, and especially in Mad Max, that part over there, her playing Furiosa, is just brilliant, man. Like she is such a unique actress. Chris Evans is Captain America. Before that, he was a frat boy like Jokester, like not another teen movie, and as Johnny Storm. I thought he was an odd choice and wasn't sure he had the right persona for it. And I was completely wrong. He was perfect, and I can't imagine anyone's playing him now. And I do agree. Like he really owns that part now. Like he owns that character of Captain America. Chris Evans is someone who has so much range Everything he's done after like 2010, it's just so good. It's so like it's every character is so different, and he proves that he can act. Like if you see him in Knives Out, if you see him as Captain America, and Snowpiercer, I think that was the name of that one movie, and he's just very different in every movie, and he plays the part really really well. And I do hope that he doesn't just get stuck to this Captain America, because they're gonna bring him now for the new Avengers movie, but I do hope that he just explores more interesting and different parts, because he can even prove that he can do pretty much anything. He already showed like quite a lot of skill. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, a 6'2" skinny Australian musical star who was at that point most famous for wearing impossibly tight gold pants and The Boy from Oz, to play a semi-furrow 5'2" Canadian super soldier. Seriously, that one thing that astonished me more than the casting decision was how Jackman absolutely fucking nailed it. Yep, he did. He also is someone who is going to be remembered for playing Wolverine, but also he is going to be remembered as one of the great actors because he's done some unique dramas. For example, like Prisoners. That part over there is just on another level, and it's so emotional and so dramatic and so intense too. And that's just one of them. Like, of course, he did Prestige, and he did so many more movies that not coming up in my mind right now, but just such a great actor. And I don't know if you know this, but originally, like in the 90s, for Wolverine, the first one on the call sheet was Danny DeVito. And yeah, I think they made the right choice to cast Hugh Jackman for this one. Everybody lost their minds when Daniel Craig was announced as the new Bond, James Bond, they call him. Yep, and they also said that he was ugly, which is like, where the fuck we're living right now, man? That's fucking insane. Daniel Craig, this guy is like, to me, he is the best James Bond ever. Especially in Skyfall. Skyfall is my favorite James Bond movie. Of course, I like all the classics, and Pierce Brosnan James Bond version. I do like them too. They're very much intense and just pretty much action packed movies. But Daniel Craig was like definitely put like in the James Bond shoes, but in a very different way. Like the movies are so different and deep, and Skyfall is, besides being a great story and great villain played by Javier Bardem, the way that movie looks is absolutely insane. But to put James Bond in the cinematic lens of Roger Deakins was just on another level, and I'm kind of excited to see what's gonna happen now because Denis Villeneuve is going to be the new director of James Bond. So I'm kind of excited, to be honest, man. Breaking Bad's Walter White via Cranston was an incredible outcome, and yeah, of course, but this wasn't controversial. Like no one knew what to expect from this TV show, to be honest. Like when it popped up at first, and it just became this phenomenon. Anyone who knew him as Hal could never see it coming, and yeah, that's fucking true, man. Like I would have never. And Malcolm in the Middle was my favorite sitcom of all time. I just love it so much. But Bryan Cranston, it's I don't even know what to say about him. And this guy is really like, you put him in the shoes of any character there is, and he is going to portray it like brilliantly. Of course, I'm very happy for the way Bryan Cranston's career like it turned around pretty much, and he started doing like pretty much everything like drama and still doing some comedies and stuff. But I gotta say, I'm very excited about the new Malcolm season, and it's not gonna be a season; it's going to be just 4 episodes. But I'm kind of excited to see him back playing Hal, and we'll see how that goes. You know, pretty much all these specials, whatever you call them, are not really good, but for some reason, I just expect the best. That's it. Henry Cavill was The Witcher. I was pretty sure myself until I saw him in action, and yep, it was pretty much the same thing when he was casted as Superman. I think people were kind of skeptical about that decision, but of course, we all saw what happened, and we saw what happened with The Witcher. That actually the TV show was good, but I played the game a little bit, and I have to say that he is very much that person, and it really this part really fits him. He is someone who is really good in drama and action when it's mixed together. And I don't want him, to, of course, to be typecast. I want him to play anything he wants to play, but I just want to see him in more parts like that because they're just very like they really fit. Austin Butler has always seemed off the wall to me. I had only ever known of him through Nickelodeon shows or small budget films where he played a one note character. Was not expecting the final result to say the least. He pretty much looks the part here. So I think there was like not really much of a controversy. But the moment I saw him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I knew it. I knew it that his career is just gonna go crazy from there on. Like what he did there in like total of 5 minutes was just great. He nailed the dialect. He nailed like every scene, and especially the one at the end with Brad Pitt. That whole dialogue that they exchange, it's just they found the tempo. They were just passing the ball, right? It's great. And Austin Butler, I just wish him the best. He's already doing great job with like everything that he's in, but he has like a really bright future, man. And I think from like all these younger actors, I think he's going to definitely have the best career of all of them. All right, let me know what is your most controversial casting of all time, and I'll see you on the next one.